Hello and welcome to The Worst, the podcast of everything that is the worst. I'm your host. That is accurate. I'm your host, Mark, and sitting next to me is my lovely wife and co-host, Gina.
That's me.
That is you. Hello.
Hello.
And together we are Mental Illness Theatre.
No.
I think that's also accurate.
Yes.
Because here we are doing this for another week. Woohoo!
Yeah. As the world burns.
It's burning well, though. It's keeping us nice and warm, you know. That's actually what global warming is the world burning. Yes. Kind of.
A little bit.
So on that note, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah, we'll just avoid the war and, you know, everything going on. And
let's dive into some crime.
Yeah, this one's definitely a crime one.
Really good story.
You have no idea who this is.
Nope,
I
no
haven't
clue.
mentioned whatsoever. And it's kind of, it's not light. I mean, this guy is a serial killer.
Yeah.
But the details, you'll
Sounds light to me right now.
you're gonna hate it, but you're also gonna be laughing like, seriously, that fucking happened? So I feels like a good palate cleanser, especially after fucking Marcus Wesson. I don't know anyone who listened to that episode, but I had a lot of trouble with that one, from researching it to writing it to recording it to editing it, and I'm glad he is now just a landmark that I can use as a reference and never have to actually think about again. Yeah, he was a lot. So this is almost a palate cleanser. Because today we're doing the first part of another two-parter. This time on an American serial killer from the 70s who I don't think gets enough press. Like, he doesn't get talked about enough. He was crafty, charming, and horribly cold. But it's his amazing luck that might be his biggest trait. Just over and over and over again, this man has the most amazing luck dealing with police and authorities.
They just had a horseshoe up his ass.
He literally does a golden diamond plate, or a gold-plated diamond
Encrusted.
horseshoe. Yeah,
that's gonna be rough up your ass, though.
Well, he liked it because it kept his ass out of trouble for a long time. Because today we're covering part one of Carroll Edward Cole. He's a fun one. Do you recognize the name?
Vaguely.
Yeah, I mean...
Well enough that I'm sure at points I'll be like, oh, yes.
There's one detail in particular. I think you'll be like, I remember hearing about that. How did he not get in trouble for that?
Yeah, sounds like me.
Which will be about the dozenth thing. You'll be like, how didn't he get in any trouble for this? How did he get away with it? The story of Carroll Cole is a baffling tale of how many times an alcoholic serial killer can avoid punishment despite being caught over and over and over again. It's not like he's slick.
No?
He just kind of does his thing, and it's like, all right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're dead already.
Yep. But no matter what he was caught doing, he either got a comparative slap on the wrist for punishment, or no punishment at all. Just a little, just go on your way.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. And these are the times he's actually caught. He's not caught for most of the things he does, but the things he is caught on doesn't matter. There's almost no real punishment for this man.
I'm guessing he's white.
Mm-hmm. He's white and he's pretty good looking. And the other thing is, like I said, the charming thing, I watched interviews with this guy. I like him. That's the terrifying thing. I can see how people liked this guy because when he's an intelligent guy, he's well-spoken, he knows how to make a point, he's very calm, he's not combative, he's just a broken, violent man, but other than that, he's cool.
Other than that.
Other than that.
He cute.
By bouncing around and living a chaotic, liquor-soaked, almost nomadic life, it took law enforcement a very long time to realize that Cole wasn't just a scumbag doing scummy things, but was in fact a cold-blooded serial killer. In fact, it turned out to be one of the least consequential charges Cole had racked up during his entire life, which includes so many charges that we'll see, that would eventually bring his demise, or at least bring him to the awareness of authorities. And in that sense, this is one of the most infuriating cases I've ever seen, as this man seems to kill with impunity, but is caught through something completely unrelated and completely just so...
Oh, of course.
It's like, that's the crime that brings him to your attention? That's the one? Fuck. You'll see. You'll know when I'm ranting when we hit it. When he was finished talking to the police, he was believed to have murdered between 15 and 35 people. Mostly married women that Cole felt were unfaithful because they reminded him of his mother.
Wow.
Although, to be fair, he was only convicted of 5 murders in the end. The 15 we're going to go through basically the 15, and it seems pretty solid. I couldn't find much on the 35, and this is pretty common for 70s serial killers.
Yeah.
Especially nomadic alcoholic ones.
Right? This was pre-internet. Fucking police departments didn't communicate. They still barely communicate because they're all like trying to fucking be better than each other.
And you have someone who's an alcoholic who I remember vaguely this girl. I think it was here, but right? I mean, I bounced around so much and I was drunk the entire decade.
He's no grim sleeper who can draw them all from memory with necks that are so detailed it creeps me out as an artist.
Right? Like he might have some details right, but maybe the town wrong or the year wrong. You know what I mean? Because we'll see. He bounces a lot and he's everywhere and he's always drunk. So that doesn't make you the best one to recall your crimes from like a decade ago. Oh yeah, I remember that. So yeah, we'll see. He's fun. And like I mentioned, the majority of his killings happened during the crazy 70s, you know, good old goddamn lead gas. But Cole showed his true colors early on because he killed his first victim at the age of 8.
Jesus.
Yeah. So let's
a young go-getter.
He's a self-made man. He picked himself up by the bootstraps. He got out there and started doing his trade early.
8. He's having a moment. Cause
what were you doing when you were 8?
Playing with G.I. Joes and climbing trees. Yeah.
Same, honestly. Well, not the trees. I was
You were a land dweller?
I was a terrestrial boy. No, I was not.
I was a climber.
Oh, yeah. No,
I was also in acrobatics at that point, so I was flipping everywhere I could possibly flip.
I can't jump, I can't climb, and I saw at least 2 kids take really bad falls out of trees when I was young. Like the one guy blew up his shoulder and his collarbone, and it was a terraced fucking yard, and instead of falling on the terrace that was closer to where he was in the tree, he fell the other way. So he fell an extra 10 feet, hit, and then just fucking rolled, and it was like, ah!
Core memory trigger here. When I dislocated my shoulder at acrobatics, my best friend hurled himself out of the tree in my front yard over and over and over, trying to make me laugh while I was sobbing
you've mentioned
pain.
That, yeah. I can see that. That's like the Holton, fucking...
Doesn't make you feel better? Whap!
Holton Terry in Brooklyn Nine-Nine dancing so when Amy's in labor.
Exactly. Yeah. This will make it so you don't feel pain. Because I was just like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And my parents listened to that for about an hour before they're like, no, you're not fine.
See, I would have fucking died. My parents knew. Like, fucking... It took a lot before I was ended up in the hospital because I was reluctant to it. My parents were reluctant to it. It was just like, yeah, you'll have to be like, show me the knife sticking out of you and we'll go to the hospital.
Well, you can't move your arm properly is a pretty good...
Well, yeah, it's not going to get better on its own.
My 9-year-old child can't move her arm very well. I think I'm not going to listen to her.
This isn't a sprain that we can bandage up ourselves and be like, take it easy, you know.
Yeah.
Which still, you should go to the doctor if you have a bad sprain.
Oh, God, yeah. Found out years later on an x-ray when they asked me, when did you break your ankle? And I made a real stupid face, like, huh? Huh? I didn't know I did.
Yeah. Carroll Edward Cole was born on May 9th, 1938, so he is a Taurus.
Oh, my dad and my brother are both Tauruses.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I didn't know they were the same sign.
Their birthdays are 2 days apart.
This must be our first Taurus then, because you would have mentioned that. Yeah.
I would have.
And he instantly had one strike against him because his name was Carroll. They named their son, Carroll in 1938.
Oh, that's not...
Yeah.
That's not good.
You know the Johnny Cash song, Boy Named Sue?
Yeah.
That's basically this kid's life early on. Everywhere he goes, he gets beat up because his name is Carroll.
I've gone to school with some guys with girls' names, and I think the worst one I can remember is Shannon.
Ooh, I didn't know any male Shannons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew quite...
And he's a nice guy. He was in my art class. Perfectly nice, normal dude. But, man, I was just like, that must suck.
Yeah, I knew a lot of male Ashleys and Aarons. Yeah. But, to be fair, Carroll Cole came by his name very naturally, as he was born to Laverne and Vesta Cole. Laverne and Vesta. And this was in
To be fair, they didn't have the best names to work with.
That's just it. And that's another thing. Get ready. some of the names in this fucking
Even
story.
Laverne is better than Vesta. That's just what. Are you?
Well, which one do you think
clothing?
is which? Who's the husband and who's the wife?
In my brain, Laverne is a woman's name.
Nope. Laverne is the husband, and Vesta is the wife.
Okay.
Yep. And
Well, no wonder they named their son a girl's name. He
This
was
is
just passing on the tradition.
that's what I'm saying. He came by it fucking naturally.
Yep.
It's not like these are two normally named people, and they're like, yeah, let's name our son Carroll.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
we had to live through this hell. Your turn, kid. Keep it on. And he was born in Sioux City, Iowa. So, I mean, there's another strike. You're fucking Iowa. He moves a lot, though. He knows.
All to escape Iowa.
What do you know about Iowa?
Corn?
See, I know my American geography and shit. Iowa is the state I know nothing about, period. Nothing. It exists. I think it touches Illinois. That's it.
I got nothing.
The oddly named family moved to Richmond, California, just north of Oakland, in the early 40s for work. So this is like on the San Francisco Bay. It's, I don't know, but it's on the east side, so the other side, away from...
North of Oakland a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how good people are at geography, but it's on the same overall bay, right? This is when the U.S. entered the Second World War in 1941, which is after the Pearl Harbor attack, and basically Richmond, California became a boom town for naval industry because they just started pumping out ships. It's right there on the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
You know, they pump them out, they're ready to go. Boom.
Kind of where they need them.
Yeah, it is. And I think this was the Liberty ships, although I might be wrong on that, but whatever. Also, it had tons of shipyards and a lot of like maintenance for the ships coming here and there and blah, blah, blah. So it became a wartime naval fucking boom town, which having lived in Halifax, we understand this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what happens to Halifax every time, is that, boom, Halifax gets fucking huge because of the war and everything going to Europe from Canada leaves Halifax. So this didn't last very long because in 1943, Laverne was drafted into the military, and he left the U.S. the following year to go serve. I couldn't find if he went Pacific or Europe, but basically, 43, he gets drafted into training and whatnot, and he catches the end of the war, which is never fun. According to Cole, until this point, his family life was unremarkable, but as soon as his father was away for service, all this changed, like on a dime. Daddy's away and the family changed. In 1944, when Cole was 7, he claimed his mother took him along. Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
He claimed his mother took him along with her while she went to cheat on his father.
Oh, Daddy's away.
Right? Might as well go get pounded.
Ugh.
But this wasn't the usual take your small child to your hookup situation. Which is normal, right? This is what you do. I couldn't find a babysitter. I'll just bring little fucking Carroll along and fuck him up a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. The name's not doing it this well.
Yeah.
Vesta took Cole to a small apartment across town, and when they arrived, Vesta went to a separate room to entertain multiple men. Doing this, she left Cole just waiting in the living room.
Why am I picturing Charlie from It's Always Sunny on Christmas?
Ah, you wish this was a Charlie scene. Because Cole wasn't alone in the living room.
Oh, no.
And he said there was also a couple sitting across from him doing some light to heavy petting, along with a nursing mother.
This is just weird.
He walked into a fucking John Waters film.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? I am too young for this.
This is a rough day for fucking poor 7-year-old Carroll.
Yeah, here you go, kid.
Yeah, process this.
Fuck.
During a break in the action,
Wow.
Vesta came out of the bedroom to freshen up. Gotta get that sticky out.
I mean, yeah. Ew.
Cole had seen some kids playing outside, and because he was bored and confused, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's 7. All he knows is that he's in a weird room and Mom's in the other room and there were weird sounds coming out of it. Yeah. Right? He asked Vesta if he can go outside and play with these kids. Vesta, she didn't give a shit, because I don't care where the fuck you are.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get some.
So she was basically like, yeah.